Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, let's first welcome to the ring, coming to us from Canada, the Grizzly, Saimun Kean.
So here is the knockout artist from Canada, Saimun Kean. He says this is the fight that can change his life. And when you can bang like he can, he'll fancy his chances.
And now let's welcome to the ring from New Zealand, the former world champion, Joseph Parker.
The former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Joseph Parker. At 31, he still feels there's enough left in the tank to make a mark in the division, but he cannot afford to lose tonight. Always smiling, always popular. This one fascinating. Saimun Kean ready for the biggest fight of his career so far. Joseph Parker has the name and reputation in the heavyweight division, but needs to win to impress here in Riyadh tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 10 rounds, and it'll be for the vacant IBF and vacant WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Championships. Brought to you by Sella, Franklin, on behalf of Queensberry, Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, and Given. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Robin Smith, along with the International Boxing Federation, President Daryl Peoples, Supervisor Ben Keelty of Australia, and the World Boxing Organization, President Francisco Paco Marcarcel, Supervisor Porfirio Beteron Lara of the United States. Our three judges assigned will be Steve Gray of England, Philip Holiday of Australia, and Ignatius Misalides of Australia. Our referee in charge will be Bob Williams of England. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with gold and weighed in officially at 255.1 pounds. Coming to us from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, Canada, he brings a professional record consisting of 23 wins, just one defeat, 22 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Grizzly, Saimun Kean. And his opponent across the ring in this championship contest, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing blue trunks and weighed in at 250.1 pounds. Hailing from South Auckland, New Zealand, he has a professional record of 32 wins, 3 defeats, with 22 of his 32 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lupe Soliai La'auli Ole Malietoa, Joseph Parker.
Okay, gentlemen, obey my commands. In the event of a knockdown, the fighter standing will go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there. Protect yourself at all times, touch blood.
Concentration etched on the face of both men. It's an interesting clash of styles in there. Parker with the excellent jab, the ring craft, the ability to control fights. At 6'5", Kean is over 18 stone. He's going to rely on power. Parker has been susceptible against the bigger hitters he's been in with. And I think we expect Richard Kean to start fast and come out firing. He's got 11 wins inside the first 2 rounds, although Parker himself made relatively light work of his last opponent, stopping him in 89 seconds in Melbourne back in May.
Kean will certainly, you know, wanted to land a big shot early in this contest. He won't want Parker to settle into a rhythm. Parker, a very good technical boxer, as they've said in the studio. Good start there from Parker. And like I say, if he gets into a rhythm, then Kean won't want that. So it's important for Kean to start quick, but it's actually Parker that's landed the better shots up to now.
Kean's defeat came when he steps up in class, and he's stepping up in class again tonight against a former world champion, the former WBO world champion. Joseph Parker is still ranked in the top 10 by the WBO, the WBC and the IBF. And it's why Kean sees this as such a big opportunity tonight. Parker, though, in there still feels he's got so much to offer in the heavyweight division.
Kean already has changed his stance a little bit here, Fletch. He came out quite confident in that opening 10 or 20 seconds, but I think Parker, you know, is catching him with the jab, and Kean's just suddenly realising he's in against a really good fighter here. And again, Parker switching the attack from body to head.
Good, swift, solid shots in the opening round here from Parker, spearing out that left jab. He's a man who's only lost a very good fighter, stopped late by Joe Joyce, lost on points to Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. He's beaten Andy Ruiz, he's beaten Derek Chisora, and he's mixed in good circles for a long time now. And that's the first one there that's just got through from Kean, who we know is a big man with good power.
Yeah, that's not bad from Kean. That wasn't a bad shot. He's a bit tense, though, for me, Kean, at this stage. A little bit stiff, a little bit tense. That might be just a bit of nervous energy in there. So he come out quite confident, but it was Parker that started the better. He's just started to settle into it now, Kean, but still a bit too tense. He's got to relax a little bit more.
Left hook got through from Parker, who's significantly more experienced, despite being 3 years younger than the man that he's in with tonight. Good body shot from Parker, nice and solid. He's been the better man in the opening round here so far. He could be a real problem, Richie, if you let him get rhythm with that left jab.
Yeah, Parker's a really decent boxer, and he's got power as well. Former world champion, remember. So he's experienced, and he has started the better here. And Kean, on paper, yes, he normally starts very quick indeed. But it's Parker who's settled into this one a little bit better.
Already a slight mark on the bridge of the nose of Simon Kean, probably caused by that left jab of Joseph Parker. It might just take the Canadian a little while just to work Parker out. Let's go that left hook there, right towards the end of the opening round, which Joseph Parker has pretty much been in control of. So there's Frank Bruno and Ricky Hatton, 2 former British world champions here, who are going to be ringside in Riyadh tonight. And there is Ronaldo, the great Brazilian. What a wonderful footballer he was for some of the biggest club sides. He's got Luis Figo with him as well tonight. It really is an all-star cast.
Tremendous seeing these stars from all sports. What an event. So a better start, I thought, from Parker. Good left hook there. This was quite early, probably after about 30 seconds. Before that, it was Kean that seemed to be more confident. So that's not too bad. That's probably the best right hand that he threw in that round. But for me, it was Parker's round.
Andy Lee with instructions to Joseph Parker, who's such a big part of Tyson Fury's camp. He prepares in Morecambe with the WBC, a lineal heavyweight champion of the world. He's very close to that group. And I think there is a consensus, Richie, that the more he works with Andy Lee, the more he gets out of Joseph Parker.
He's doing a great job with him, isn't he? Very experienced is Joseph Parker, but Andy Lee, as Carl Frampton has said, excellent coach. And was a great fighter himself. Kean here, if you look at his stance, he's very wide with his stance. Boxers with a wide stance usually struggle to move at speed. They prefer boxers to come to them. They prefer to stand and trade with that sort of wide stance. But better work from Parker there with the jab. So Parker will just have to watch it as he comes forward, because that's what Kean will probably be relying on. When he's on that front foot, Kean, it's difficult to move at speed with such a wide stance like that.
Joseph Parker doubling the jab at the moment to head and body. Kean at the moment looking for the single shot. He's not really been able to put too much together by way of combinations.
Decent body shot there as well from Parker downstairs. Just seen Kean just stopping his tracks a little bit. So he felt that one, most certainly.
Nice to see one get into the second round. We've had quick wins tonight for Moses Itauma and Arslanbek Makhmudov. Both of those fights finishing in the first round. Martin Bakole with a fourth round stoppage. This one's scheduled for 10 between Joseph Parker in the blue and Simon Kean in the black and gold. Parker's jab's been the dominant punch of the fight to this point.
Yeah, he's just measuring the distance very well, isn't he? Good switch of attack there. Starts downstairs and then comes up with that left hook. And started the attack also with that good jab. Switches downstairs again, so good variety from Parker.
Parker working as effectively as behind the jab, giving Kean no time whatsoever to settle into the fight and start to land his own power punches. He's been on the outside looking in so far with 30 seconds to go in the second round.
You can see what Parker's doing. He's just trying to land this right hand over the top. He's looking downstairs. You can see he's with his eyes. He's looking downstairs to his opponent's body, just to throw him off the scent a little bit. And he's trying to whip that right hand over. That's what he wants to do, Parker.
He's got one or two problems to solve at the moment, Simon Kean.
Tu passes à travers de lui puis tu me donnes plus de hits. Les fois que tu le fais, tu me le recules à chaque fois.
Let's look at the action here. Lovely jab there from Parker, and just keeps his head on the outside away from his opponent's right hand. Good work from him. Just had another angle there. Super jab. Good body shot. What a super punch that was, that left hook downstairs.
Yeah, the better variety of punches to this point coming from Joseph Parker. I know it's early in the fight, but that looked a little bit, when he sat back down on his stool, as though the trainer was just trying to talk a bit of confidence into Simon Kean.
Yeah, and you could have seen from the coach's head movement, so he's obviously talking, saying to him that, you know, you've got to move your head a little bit more. He's got a couple of problems, though, as Kean. With that wide stance, it's also, you just increase the distance with your right hand a little bit. You're a little bit further away because of that wide stance. That's why he's got to move quicker with the feet to land his own right hand.
He's found it really hard to this point to get close enough to Parker based on being on the wrong end of that jab most of the time. Just trying to let the punches go there, but Parker had the gloves nice and high.
I think Parker is growing more and more in confidence here, working behind that jab. And fair play to Simon Kean, nice high guard. So obviously, I think Parker is trying to land that right hand, but that left hand of Kean's is nice and high to try and block that shot.
Parker was a bit flat the night he beat Jack Massey on points, but much sharper in his last fight. This is his third fight since losing to Joe Joyce in September of last year. The common opponent is Shaundell Winters, who Parker stopped in 2020. It took Kean 4 rounds longer than it took Parker in Montreal last year. Parker again using the jab to set up that right uppercut.
That was a belting shot, wasn't it? It really was. Parker knows it as well.
Really good shot from Parker, landing the power shots. There's no answer from Kean. He beckons Parker in, but he's going to need a lot more than bravado. What an uppercut! Brilliant punch. Joseph Parker landed it perfectly, and Simon Kean down, and in big trouble here. And he's counted out by Bob Williams. It's a knockout victory for Joseph Parker, who is in complete control from the opening bell.
He's produced a bit of quality there, has Parker. The two best punches of the fight were in that last 20 or 30 seconds, and they were both right uppercuts. Feature of punches, excellent accuracy and power. That was a really good display. Simon Kean on paper, 23 fights, 22 knockouts from 24 contests. That's very impressive indeed. But he's come up against someone, a former world champion, who was on song tonight, and he was really in form. Fair play to Parker there. That's a good performance, and like I say, a bit of quality at the end shows why he's a former world champion with those right uppercuts.
There's Amir Khan enjoyed the night. He's been a big presence all week in the build-up to the main event, but he was impressive tonight. Gets a big kiss on the cheek from the former middleweight world champion Andy Lee. And I have to say, Richie, from the moment the opening bell rung, he looked a class above Simon Kean.
Yeah, he was very confident, wasn't he? I think he was in his head that Simon Kean isn't quite at his level. And I think it showed as the contest went on. But it was a good boxing display all round from Parker. He worked very well with his jab. He measured the distance. He tried the right hand. Kean actually was a bit stiff and tense early on. Got into the contest more and more. But with that wide stance, struggled to move at speed. But the end there, the quality in the punching, that was very good. The quality of punches were excellent there from Parker.
33 wins now for Joseph Parker, and he seems to very much have that Joe Joyce defeat out of his system.
Yes, and you know, he's only 31 years of age. He's been a former world champion. I've said this before tonight. He's a seasoned professional, a former world champ. And remember, still ranked by the WBC at 10, IBF at 6, and WBO at 6. So he's still up there. He's still a world-ranked contender.
So let's have a look at the punch, Richie, that really turned it Joseph Parker's way.
Yeah, super. Just measuring with the jab, 3 or 4 jabs that went in there, just to measure the distance and gap, and then brought that right uppercut through. That's the first one, and that there, look. Oh, what a super shot that was. That's a belter. It really is. But it's well set up. Then he moves in. Good right hand there. And Kean's in all sorts of, having all sorts of problems here. Then let's have a look at the finish, the right uppercut to finish it off. There it is again. So he measures it again with the jab and then whips it through. That's quality. That's power. And yeah, that's why he's been a former world champion. He showed his quality. That was excellent.
Those kind of punches tonight, the difference between Joseph Parker and Simon Kean, and you can't really throw uppercuts better than the two we saw, the finishing shots for Parker tonight.
And Fletcher, you've got to remember, good trainer in Andy Lee, and he's obviously with Tyson Fury, so he's sparring Tyson, you know, day in, day out, and that's showing, it really is.
And I think significantly, Richie, he's still hungry. You say he's only 31, he's been a world champion, he's had a couple of setbacks, but he looks like a man on a mission.
You know, like I've said, he's 31, he's not that old. That isn't old for a heavyweight if you've still got the desire, and he certainly showed it tonight.
He's hugely popular as well. I mean, you don't find too many people with a bad word to say about Joseph Parker, the 31-year-old from Auckland in New Zealand, who was a cut above tonight against the Canadian Simon Kean. Just having a word with Isaac Lowe's in there. So Bob Williams calling the fighters together. We're about to hear from Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 4 seconds of round number 3. Our referee in charge, Bob Williams, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout. And now the IBF and WBO Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Lupe Soliai, La'auli Ole Mali Etoa, Joseph Parker.